And with that, Antoine Walker, Fox Sports NBA analyst, he's got a ring. I said last night he's not a star per se, but Robert Williams, when he's on the floor, the Warriors can't score in the paint, period. And so they become basically a jump shooting team. I think Robert Williams has a massive influence. His plus-minus last night was best on both teams. Now, he gets hurt. He can give you about 25 minutes. He can't give you 35. But how do you solve that? How does Golden State solve the Robert Williams issue?
Well, they're not going to be able to solve it, at least not this year, because of, obviously, they don't have anybody on their roster that can come in and put any pressure on them. You got two non-scorers at the 4 and 5 in Kevon Looney and Draymond Green. So that makes Robert Williams even better because now he doesn't have to hold on and latch on to those two guys. He can help out and challenge shots at the rim. And he had a monster block shot there in the second half. And just getting second chance opportunities, not allowing them to get second chance up because Golden State flourishes off second chance opportunities. And he does a great job of stopping that.
Are you surprised, or perhaps how surprised with the struggles of Jason Tatum in 3 straight games?
I don't think he struggled. I thought last night was his best game. What he was able to do in the fourth quarter as far as putting his head down, making the right play. He struggles a little bit at times during the game where he gets in the corner and he's not aggressive. But I thought last night he continued to be aggressive as the game went along. Even when Golden State made their run, he came out that fourth quarter and took advantage of mismatches, driving to the basket, did not settle for 3-point shots like he's done in the past. And I thought that was a difference in the fourth quarter because he was able to attack the basket, got to the free throw line a couple times. So I thought last night was his best game.
Klay Thompson, is this what he is going forward? Do you expect him to be better next year? But he's not scoring down low because of Williams. His shot, he was bad early, then good, bad third, then good. Is this kind of what Klay is going forward? Do you keep him for the next 3 years? Do you bring him back? Because if he's not going to be an elite defender, we know Steph isn't. Now you got a hole. We know Jordan Poole isn't. I mean, what's the future if you are running the Warriors on Klay Thompson?
It's tough, and I thought Klay was good last night. He was aggressive. He was determined to have a better game. He did do that. They have to bring him back next year. We have to understand he's been gone for a couple years. Those were really serious injuries, and we're expecting him just to bounce back and be the same Klay of, it takes time. And I think it'll be a disjustice for us to go out and say that, hey, we need Klay to be this superhero that we saw him be and be the same splash brother that we saw a couple years ago. It's not going to be the same. So I think this year was great for him to be back in the mix and to be able to make a deep run like they're making in the finals right now. I can't see him nothing but getting better next year.
So, listen, international soccer, fans can be just awful with players, taunting them. So when Draymond's getting cursed and they're doing the T-shirts, my takeaway is, this is kind of what happens. And Draymond, he doesn't mind poking fans either. So he gets all worked up in that too. You were at the arena last night. Is it crossing a line? Does it bother you? What do you make of the fans, Draymond, and that current relationship?
I mean, it's tough when they're using curse words to go at him. I mean, obviously you would prefer just something basic and just booing him when he gets the ball or something of that nature. But Draymond's put this on himself, and Colin, you know that. He's doing a lot of talking. He's doing his podcast after the games. Game 2, he spent the whole game getting into altercations with just about everybody on the Celtics roster. So he's put this on himself. So unfortunately, this is a part of the game. This is the finals. Boston fan base they're engaging. This is a tough crowd to play on. They're going to get on you, and you got to be ready to accept it. You got to block it out and go out and play. So it's unfortunate that he has to deal with it because obviously these are some cruel fans here in Boston. They go right at you, and they were at him. I mean, the chat was not nice. Obviously, I can't say it on TV, but it was definitely hostile, and 20,000 people were going at him.
Who would you, if you, I'm not really an awards guy, but if you had to give the MVP of the series, who would you give it to this morning?
I like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I just think he's been the one rock for the Celtics. I thought the way he got started off the game yesterday, setting the tone, being aggressive, getting Draymond Green in foul trouble, even Steph Curry, he just was terrific last night, and he was great in game one in that fourth quarter and mounted that comeback for the Celtics to be able to win game one. So I think, obviously the talk is all about Steph and Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown would be my guy right now after 3 games.
Yeah. Do you think the Warriors are cooked? I mean, they're underdogs again in game 4. It's hard to come back 3-1. When you're sitting there last night, you're on the floor, you're watching close. There was a moment for me last night when I'm watching all these non-stars for the Celtics produce and the non-stars for the Warriors not producing. And I said to myself, it's like 8 against 5. It's just different. I mean, do you feel the Warriors are done?
I don't think they're done. I wouldn't. They're too good of a team to be done. But I do think they're going to lose this series in 6 games. I talked about this before the series started, and I truly believe this. The Celtics' depth, they have more depth than Golden State. When you think about when you get production, you just talked about it. One, Robert Williams. Then last night, I thought Grant Williams was terrific last night.
Yeah.
And in the minutes that he played, Marcus Smart, I said, was the X factor. He comes off a 2-point performance, gives you 24, 7, and 5. Plays great defense in the fourth quarter. I mean, they can go deep down their bench. Derek White in game 1. I just feel like the depth of Boston will wear them out, and then the physicality. We saw last night Boston dominate the paint, dominate inside, and Golden State is not going to get any bigger as the series goes along. They're going to be the same size. And it's Draymond Green's inability to score the basketball and Looney really hurts Golden State because they make them easier to guard in the pick and roll. You can get out on Steph and Klay and be aggressive, and on Jordan Poole because they're throwing back to non-scores. And I think that's what the Celtics have the advantage in.
It's interesting. J.A. Adonde, a journalist who's covered the league forever, and now he runs the Northwestern Journalism School, Medill in Chicago, was on, and he said, they maybe should have moved James Wiseman because they don't want to give up Kuminga, but he's not ready to play. They don't want to give up Moody. He's not ready to play. They don't want to give up Wiseman either. But you get to a point where those guys may not be ready until Draymond and Klay are too old. So you have this, like you got to get everybody that's on Steph's timeline. To some degree, you got to be lined up when Steph can be highly productive. So like James Wiseman, number 2 pick. I'm watching video last night, 7-footer, beautiful jumper. Should they have moved him for another productive player, or would you stick with him and his high ceiling, which may not be realized for 4 years?
I think it was hard because I don't know if they was trying to see if Klay was going to come back and see how good they really could be. I don't think they expected Jordan Poole to be as good as he was during the season, and he turns out to be a stud. Now you're looking at, hey, we could be in the finals. So I think now moving forward, they know what they got in front of them. They know they're going to have to address the size and inside. And Looney's a free agent, so you could possibly lose him in the free agent market. So I don't think you can just give up on Wiseman right away. And Colin, you made a point about the rookies, the 2 rookies for Golden State. How we know that they're not ready? He has yet to play them. He played them in other series. Are you scared to play them now? It's because it's the finals. You'll never know if they're ready if you don't give them an opportunity. So I can't just say those guys are not ready to play. He's went away from them and went back to his veterans. Give those guys a shot and see what happens.
It's been a fun series. I've got to be honest. It's been a really fun series. It's got everything. I've got a star. I've got Draymond talking. I've got a great brand. I've really enjoyed it. Whether or not, I don't know if America enjoys it. Who do you like? Who do you like Friday night? I think I like Boston, but I think it's really, really close. I think it's going to be super close. What do you foresee for Friday, Game 4?
If Steph injury has any type of seriousness to it, I like Boston. I just think if he's hurt and he says the same injury that he had, he's just coming off of, it's going to be tough for him because he has to have his quickness, he has to have his mobility to be able to come off screens. And we know Steph does a lot of moving around without the ball. So if he's not able to run and cut and do the things he wants to do, they're going to be in trouble because Golden State has yet to find that second and third score. I know Klay was better yesterday, but Jordan Poole has yet to arrive in this series. And I don't know if they can muster up enough points or get enough guys going offensively to be able to hang with the Celtics, especially with the Celtics being at home.
Antoine Walker. Do you have good seats, by the way, Antoine? Where are you sitting for the series?
On the floor. That's pretty good.
Antoine, you're the best. All right, good talking to you. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.